Hello, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. How is everyone today? We have Dawn. Hi there, Dawn, and Katrina, and Sonette, and Sarah. Hello, everyone. So glad to see you all here. Um, Last Saturday, we started with the Brutfuner 520 colored pencils in the Nature's Magic. So we will be continuing that. Hi, Yvonne. If my internet stays on, Yvonne, I will be good. Unfortunately, yesterday the internet went out and stayed out for a very long time. So just before I went to bed last night, it was still out. And I logged in on my cell phone data and posted that I might not be able to come in. But I got up this morning and it was all good. So as long as they fixed it and they actually keep it fixed, I will be a happy camper. So, as you remember, we were working on this lovely picture. And for those that haven't seen it yet, I did finish my Color Japan in July picture. And I don't know if you can see it, but I put some liquid pearls in there and some glitter. Made her all pretty. Hi, Dee Dee. Thank you. And I put some liquid pearls. I did try to do the stitching on her kimono, and on my practices it did not turn out well, so it did not go on the picture. But I did finish her off, so she's all finished now. I'm quite pleased with how she turned out. So all right, so we've still got a part of the tree here to do. So I'll grab my tree colors here. And this one. And this one. I use a lot of colors in the tree. Thank you, Dawn. So we've got to finish off this part of the tree, and then we will move on to a little bit more colorful area. I've picked out the colors for the moth, but we will add some extra colors so we can see what kind of colors this huge set of pencils gives us. Okay, so let's get started. So I've laid down the base, so we don't need that one. I'm going to use Tempest, and I gotta sharpen it up here. And I know some of you might end up leaving before the end because Delane from Color Pocket has her debut on HGT, no, HS, I can't remember the name of it, but she'll be doing a live interview for her Color Pocket. So HS or HGTV, something like that. I may be wrong, but I know that she does that at 11 o'clock, so. And I'm going to miss it, but that's okay. I will find it later. I don't know if it's on the YouTube or, excuse me, on their site, or I don't have a link for it, so. I'm just going in and adding little bits of this gray-green color in the shadowy areas. Yes, that's the one. Thank you, Dee Dee. The Home Shopping Network. Thank you so much. Yeah, my brain just said, no, I'm not going to tell you what that is. You know exactly what it is, but I'm not going to tell you how to say it. My brain has been doing that a lot lately. It says, no, you use me too much. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been doing very good. I have not purchased anything. However, I do have little things coming in that I purchased a while ago. Like the book that came in during stream yesterday or during my video yesterday. I was I actually forgot that I had bought it. It was so long ago. And I have the PDF file for it, so because I bought both to help her, you know, produce it. Completely forgot that it was coming in. So I get to go through all the things that I don't color with very often. Or that I didn't like coloring with at all. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. Gotta love the twofer. The dog barking was probably not, extremely fun because she is a loud girl when she wants to be. Unfortunately, my internet went out, so I couldn't do the flip through that I said I was going to do, but I will get to that soon. I did a little one. And I know Tammy, Amazon Tammy, has a flip through of the PDF on her YouTube channel that she did yesterday. So if you wanted to see it before I get it up, you can go over to Amazon Tammy's and take a look at it. I just love her, Fabrica's work. It's just so fun. Okay, so we've got our shadows in there. Now we're going to take puce and we're just going to bring that darker color down. Just going over some of the gray areas and the darker areas. Where the tree contrasts and moves and divots and all that fun stuff. This is the Nature's Magic book that I got from the Salem, Oregon artist. One of the books that I gave away in my treasure hunt. And of course, you can purchase this book by contacting Runaway Arts and Crafts. I will leave the email in the description after the stream. And just send her an email and let her know that you want to purchase the book. And she will send you the details and a invoice on how to purchase it and how it's shipped and all that fun stuff. Yes, absolutely. The verdict is definitely still out on the bronzeals. I was actually kind of disappointed. They don't feel the same as they did the first time I used them. And, of course, I will try them on a different paper. Like I said, that paper was really, really smooth. So it may not have been the best paper for them. But I'll try them on some coloring book paper and see if that helps. I was actually really disappointed. I don't know if it's because I've become a bit of a pencil snob with my better pencils or what. But I was Not pleased with the way they were performing yesterday, that's for sure. It's bad when you go from using a really expensive set of pencils, because for 48 pencils, the Brunswick design pencils are really kind of, really expensive, to using a lesser known brand like the Brutfuner and enjoying using the Brutfuner more. Hi, Brandy. But I've always enjoyed the Brutfuner pencils. I don't care what anybody says. I think they lay down really nicely and they work quite well. And yeah, you don't need 520 pencils, but I'm a collector. I like collecting them. And I don't care what anybody says. It's fun. So now I'm going in with a sugar almond, which is a little bit more of a reddy brown. And just filling in. Yeah, exactly. You got to find the right paper. Yeah, it is a wonderful, wonderful book. I did a full flip through of it. I think the artist is just fantastic. And I actually am going to call her and see if she wants to be interviewed on the channel. We have talked about it a little bit in person, but I haven't called her and actually set up a time or anything like that. She's a busy lady. And probably busier now that I've gotten a hold of her book. So I'm just going through and I'm just extending that dark shadow area out a little bit with a little bit of a brighter color. Just randomly throughout the tree. Like I said, the 520 Brutfuners, absolutely, you do not need an entire 520 pencils. If you were to buy half of the set and just have the 260 pencils, you'll still have a really good set either which way. So if you were just to buy one of the sets, there is a good combination in there. I'm a full set syndrome individual. The struggle is real. Oh, thank you. Those are all the images that I've colored so far this year. Not very many, but and I update it every time I color a new one. I have to go through and make sure that I've got them all in there. I've got a couple that I've been working on, one of which I finished for a buddy color, but she's not ready yet, so it hasn't gone in there yet. Which is fine. I told her take her time. I get fixated, especially with buddy colors, because I don't want to, hold people up because I'm slow. Okay, so I think we've got a majority of the browns in there. Now I'm going to take this gray green, which is boa. Yes, you'll wonder what colors you're missing because you know that there's a full set out there, and that's why I have full set syndrome. I have seen a couple of videos of distaste or dislike for these pencils, and everybody has an opinion, which is perfectly fine. My opinion is they're wonderful. But I also really like most of the Brutfuner brand that are true Brutfuners. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just putting in a little bit of this green gray to give that look of age on the trunk. I could do this with a more prominent green, but I don't want it to look like moss. I want it to just look like that graying age on the trunk of the tree. Exactly. Exactly. I go for the 120. I have never tried the 48 or the 72. I do have the 120s. Yeah, I'm horrible. I know exactly. I need all the colors. What if, I don't like it when I buy a small set and then I go to reach for a color and it's just not there. I did, have a small set of the Prismacolor Premiers because I won them. Wasn't because I bought them. So now I'm just going through and I'm adding those highlight colors, getting the bright areas of the tree colored. And blend it in. I think my full set syndrome has been my downfall. Because, yeah, I want to try all the sets now. Like a new set of pencils comes out, and I really do try to resist. Like when this one came out, I tried really hard to resist, and then somebody told me they were less than $100, and that was the end of it. And my husband kind of, said, okay, that's the end of it. It's less than $100. It's 520 pencils. You need them. I love the fact that he supports me that way. Okay, so I think we're done with the tree. Yeah, exactly. Or they're trying to see if they like the pencils. But with a budget set of pencils, um, you know, and ones that you can't buy open stock, I always suggest that you buy the full set. If you don't like them, give them to somebody else. But, to start off with a smaller set like that and limit your palette sometimes can be the downfall of the set for you. And I have missed an entire root system over here, so we're going to fill that in. I don't know how I missed that. You know, people don't like the set because there's not enough colors, or people don't like the set because, you know, of whatever reason. But when it's not enough colors, it's because you didn't buy a full set. What drives me crazy are these ones that come out with these little tiny sets and keep it that way for, you know, 5 or 6 months. And then it never fails. Every time I break down and buy it because I don't see a bigger set coming out, within a week there's a bigger set out. And it's like, are you kidding me? You couldn't have done that a week ago. So then I have to buy the full set too. The only one I haven't done that with is the Mark Art. Oh, thank you. Yeah, exactly. My husband said I needed them, so, you know. But the Mark Art, I did not buy the full set of the Mark Art because after I bought the smaller set of the Mark Art and then bought the set of the Niones and compared them, they're exactly the same set of pencils, and I don't need two of the same set of pencils. Oh, and I missed this area over here too. I'm just missing all sorts of things. Okay, so let's start over. Okay, adding our gray. And there is no rhyme or reason to where I'm adding this beyond the fact that it's the under area where it's going to be darker. And in those slotted areas where the artist has drawn the dimensions to the tree. Like this part here is sticking up, so this part down here is going to be shadowed by it. Okay. And there was another part too. There we are. Alright, now we're going to take our dark brown. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm just taking this puce and I'm just going over top of the darker gray areas. Just tidying them up a little bit and blending them into the color, extending out that dark area a little bit. In between the fingers and under the knots. Down all the little bits and pieces of the trunk here. Pretty much anywhere it looks good. Not a problem at all. I understood what you meant. And this one here, I know it's a part of the tree, but I have something that I kind of want to do with that, so bring that dark color out a little bit and up the edge here. Alright, now we're going to take our green gray. I actually do. I really enjoy the Brutfuner brand. Um, and like I was saying, I know there's a lot of naysayers out there, or people calling down the large sets. And yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do pretty much anything with a smaller set just by blending and whatnot. But there are some days I just don't want to blend. I just want to put paper to pencil to paper, and it. The one thing I really like about these is that you don't have to um, worry about the blend. You don't have to worry, okay, I need this color, and this color to make this color. You can go, okay, I want this blended in from A to B, dark to light, and you can grab 5 pencils and have that blend right there. No, you don't need that, but whoever said coloring was anything about need. I don't need any of it. I want all of it. Hi, Mona. Yeah, I have not tried the watercolor. I have heard that they are very different. I'm not a huge watercolor person, so I have not tried them on the watercolor. But the watercolor, the last time I looked, were Guang Hai, not Brutfuner. So I don't know. A friend of mine has the watercolor ones and she doesn't like them very much, so. So I'm just going through and just putting in that bit of brightness, brightening up the contrast areas here. I'm going to take some of that gray and just fill in these knot holes. Just give it that little bit of contrast there for the knots. There we go. Well, you stay in bed then, Dee Dee. I am so glad that you have found at least a comfortable position. Just stay in bed and relax, rest. I hate it when my back goes out. Yeah, the Brutfuner watercolors I've heard are not all that great. The Arteza watercolors also not something I have purchased. I love the Arteza brand, but I'm not a huge watercolor person. I am slowly, very slowly, getting into watercolor more, but I'm not a huge watercolor person. Okay, so we've got that done. Now what I wanted to do today is I wanted to work on these little buildings coming out of the tree, but I want to do them really colorful. And we have 520 colored pencils to work with. So let's start here in the center. I know this looks like it's all a part of the tree, but I don't want it to be a part of the tree. I need this part here to be a part of the tree. Just because, it would look silly if it wasn't. Not that it's going to look all not silly in a moment anyway. Okay, so I know that this part here is a part of the tree and the door is inset. So this part here has to be lighter than what's inside there, except for around the lantern. So, but I don't want to do it the same color as the tree. So what color? Give me a base color, purple, orange, yellow, green, blue to do this in, and we'll go through and we'll take a look at the colors provided to us by Brutfuner. Hi Carmen, how are you? Well, Dee Dee, then coloring is absolutely the best way to be, you know? Same with this area here. I want to do it colorfully because it's going up into that door. So Dee Dee, pick a color, any color. A red door. Okay, so let's take a look at some reds. Red, 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 red. Red door, red door. All I can hear now is red room, red room. Excuse me. Hi, Maverick. Personally, I bought it for the collection. I bought it for the ability to have every layer of color possible. And even going through this, there is a couple of colors that I think possibly it could use. I think it could use a few more pinks, but okay, so we're going to start with the red, and because they've got a little brickwork around there, I guess we could do that in stone colors. We can do the little door of red. So let's grab some dark reds for the shadow areas. So let's do red plum, which should be after my No by July. I am going to be putting these in possibly a different organization thing so that I can find pencils a little bit easier. So we need beet red would work too. And I think tomato. Actually, flame scarlet's a nice red. And just one just slightly lighter, so we'll go with tomato puree. Yeah, well, it's not really that they're missing. It's I think it's the way they have it set up. Yeah, I want all the colors from all the places. I think it's just the way they have it set up. They've broken up the pink, what I would consider a pink area, Sorry, I gotta sharpen these up. Into pinks to purples and that sort of thing. So I think it just looks like it's not got as many pinks because there's a red pink area and then a purple pink area. If I had put all of them next to each other, it probably wouldn't look to me like there's a lack of pinky colors. All right, so let's start with this area in here. Just going to color this area in here with the beet red to start with, just because I want it darker. But absolutely, if you want an entire 520 set, do you need a 520 color set? Absolutely not. If you want a 520 colored set, this is definitely worth it for the cost. Now, I bought them on Amazon for less than $100. I know that they're going to go up when they get back, so be cautious with that. I have them organized via the organization chart that Bruno has put out, and this is done by Bruno Art Gallery. And he has gone through and listed them all by name. After going through them all, they are listed by number. There's a little tiny number up here. I don't know if you can see it there. And they are all listed by that number except for the two whites at the start of the set, or at the start of his swatch set. But otherwise they are all listed by that little tiny number. I found it easier to use his swatch chart because I can't see that little tiny number very well. So I can see the names perfectly fine, but I can't see that little tiny number. All right. Now I know I have it out here. There it is. So I'm going to take a little bit of cherry tomato, and I'm just going to go in around this lantern here a little bit with it. So it looks like that light is hitting the wall and lighting it up. Doesn't have to be yellow. It just has to reflect that red off the wall, which the cherry tomato, with it having a bit of an orange in it, does give it that ability. Yeah, for him to go through and find all those numbers, the Colorfully Optimistic Corey from Colorfully Optimistic also went through and did it by number as well. And she did actually go through and find all those little tiny numbers. And yeah, I can't see it well enough to do that. So now I'm just going to take this darker red, try not to hit the door handle or the hinges. And I'm just going around and doing the shadowy type of areas. Now I'm going in with Flame Scarlet, and I'm bringing those shadows out a little bit. I'm not going to go in all the way into the center of the door because I want to be able to add that lighter color into the center of the door. So I'm going to take the cherry tomato and I'm going to fill in that center. And I went over the doorknob, but that's fine. I'm going to use a little gel pen on it anyway. Well, the ones at the end of the barrel here tells you the color number. So this one here is R16. So they're trying to follow the same numbering system that markers do. Sometimes those don't do the best for what is the word I'm looking for? For organization. That is very, very possible, Maverick. Absolutely. I have talked to quite a few people that use those. Unfortunately, I can't because I have to wear glasses and it messes up my glasses very badly. It messes with my brain. So what colors do we want to do on the outside of the tree here? Do you want to do that in greens, oranges, yellows? I'm trying to think of different colors that go with red. Yes. Yeah. Almost 4 hour swatches. Swatch session. Yeah. It was definitely an interesting one. I am, however, going to go in. I'm going to treat this like it's the inside of the tree, like this area here. So I'm actually going to fill this in with that red of the wall behind it so that it looks like it's going into that area. These ones here down below I'm going to keep in that orangey color close to the light. But these ones here I'm going to actually make it look like that's showing the wall behind it. Just because. And I just said that I was going to keep that one. Oh well, where's my eraser? Just finished saying I'm going to keep that one in the orangey color because I want it to reflect the lantern, but what do I do? Fill it in. Yeah, sure. And that way it looks like it's see-through in little areas. That pitted bark, because this looks like it's hollow behind it. Moss or olive green. Ooh, that's a good idea. So let's look at our mossy olive green colors. So we have oh, we've got, that's an avocado kind of green. We've got artichoke. Come on, I know there's some olive greens in here. Guacamole, warm olive. I think that's too yellow. That's a little too brown. But I like the mossy green colors, so I think this one here either, I think iguana or palm would work well. And dew-kissed or mistletoe would work well as well. What do you guys think? I have issues. One of my children has to move outside so I have space. Green tea's not too bad either. So what do you guys think? Mistletoe with a bit of green tea or palm with a bit of frost? Bud green. That's a little too bright. I don't want it to match up with the top areas because I've still got all this area down here that I still need to do green. The mistletoe with a bit of green tea. So this one, yeah, maybe the bud green with the mistletoe would go well too. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Mistletoe and bud green. You are correct, sir. Okay, where are you? Oh yeah. I will be glad when oh, it's these three here. I know it. Mistletoe, green tea, and bud green. Ha ha ha. See, I have a system. I am able to find them. I just have to take a couple of seconds and count. The pencil cases that I have them in are 260 slot cases. So each, excuse the sharpener, each page of the case holds one tray of the pencils. The swatch that I have, each line is a tray. Hi, Julie. So as long as I keep them where each line is a page, I can easily go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and find all of the pencils that I want as long as I know where in the book they are. So we're going to take the bud green first. And we're going to go around the edges with it. It doesn't matter if you go up into the wood. It's just going to show as that mossy green kind of color in the wood, which is actually good. It's a good look. I like it. I like it. I like it. Just going to go around the edges here. And I'm going to actually color these little stones on the inside with this as well. Because why not? Yeah, I miss Sammy's. I tried to get there. I actually popped in and then people noticed that I was online. Alright. I gotta go back and watch it later. Get knocked offline for a day and people think you've deserted them or something. So I'm just bringing that darker area out into those smaller areas. With the medium color, and then the lightest color, we're just going to go in and blend it all together. that all blended. I'm going to do this little edge. I think I'm actually going to do that little edge in a bit of yellow. Just to make it look like the door is slightly open with the light coming out. Do a little bit of yellow in the window there. Well, thank you, Julie. It's actually not so bad if once you get it all swatched out and once you find your system. Um, it's not so bad to be able to find the colors that you want to use. And the one thing that I actually really like about having a set this big is, sometimes you want to use an odd color that there's just no way of having it in any other set, and you end up just creating it. Well, a lot of those colors that I've created over the years, because I wanted a gray or green, or I wanted a more muted pink or gray pink. A lot of those colors are in this set, which is fantastic. And I know that doesn't look very green to you guys. It's this camera. I don't know why it does it, but it really hates green. It doesn't like green, and it doesn't like blue very much either. And I've gone through and I've done adjustments, and every time I shut off my computer or shut off the program, it just says, no, I'm not keeping those adjustments. And it goes back to factory setting and looks terrible. Well, that's the perfect room then, Brandy. Okay, Mona, well, be careful and enjoy your company. Julie, what I would suggest, being new to the color world, is get yourself one of these. This is one of my best friends. This is a color wheel. It will help you decide, and then you can choose a color. Like, for example, I want this to be green. So I can choose green and look at the different shades and go, okay, I want it to be close to a gray-green color. So I will go to my set and take a look on my swatch sheet, all the different gray-green colors, and then choose from there. I find that having my color wheel available to me when I'm not quite sure what colors to use helps me out immensely. So if you are fairly new to the color community and don't have a color wheel, definitely get yourself a color wheel. Yeah, they're not very expensive. You can get like for example, this one here I got free with my Huey's pencils. So that is awesome, Brandy. I love Bob Ross. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't have any little areas left open here. Just going to take my blending pencil and I'm just going to push that edge out a little bit. I can see that I've got a hard edge there. And as you can see, they do blend quite well with the Caran d'Ache blender. And they also blend quite well with the Derwent blender. So if you have the Derwent blender, which is a little bit better for blending oil-based pencils, use that one. I like the Caran d'Ache as well as the Derwent, so either which way you still got it made. And I think I want to do this in purples. So let's take a look at some purples, just because it's nice and bright and cheery. So I want to do bright purples. So I think we'll stick with the pinky purples for our highlights, and like phlox and crushed grape for our dark. So I think we're going to go with cyclamen, phlox, and crushed grape. What do you guys think? Think that'll make a good... Okay, I just got to remember where I'm at here. Okay, so I'm not down far enough. So there's bellflower, so I'm going too far down. I need to be this one. There's cyclamen. And then there's phlox. And crushed grape should be on this one. And there we are. Nope, that's concord. There's crushed grape. Exactly. Hi, Barb. Well, you be careful out there. I know it's raining really bad out there, so. Yeah, absolutely, Julie. I absolutely love Bob Ross. Actually, I think it's hidden. I have a Bob Ross bobblehead. A friend of my husband's calls me the Bob Ross of the coloring world. He says I have a very soothing, comforting voice like Bob Ross used to. And it's like, cool. I'll take that. So just sharpening these up, bad boys up here. Yes, I know, I have seen them. Well, that's what he gets for having extremely curly hair. All right, so we're going to start with our phlox. And we're just going to go around all of the knots and deep areas. I'm actually going to make this hole here a window. So I'm not going to color over that. I don't know if the artist has designed it that way or not, but I'm going to make it a window. Just because I can. Just going in all the crevices, making sure that they have that darker red purple color. And just feathering it out a little bit. so that when I come in with the next color, I have that ability to blend that together without needing a blending brush or a blending pencil. Make sure I don't color over that little bit of grassy bush there. And just anywhere that you feel that is going to have a shadow, just put in a little bit of the darker color. Absolutely. You are the boss of your coloring book. Absolutely. Now I'm just going to go into those smaller areas that are going to still be a little bit darker with this medium tone. The light tone is going to be pretty much reserved for this large area here, because that's where the light is going to hit it the most. Now if you feel that your dark areas are being muted by your other color, just go back through and just add a little bit more. Sometimes you will find that it's easier to color from light to dark. I am an oddball and I have a tendency to start with my dark and move up into my lights. So this is not the normal way that, well, nothing is normal. Everything is, how you want to do it. Sometimes I find it frustrating because of the way I do it, when I end up having to color over something because I don't have enough darkness there. But I find that it's a lot easier to blend that darker color into your lighter colors if you put the light over top of it. This is not something that a lot of people do. A lot of people enjoy doing the light to dark. But I'm an oddball. I'm a strange one. And if I find that I need a little bit more dark, I'll add a little bit more dark as I go along. I always tend to keep the 3 color combination that I'm doing in my hand, in my left hand as I'm coloring with my right, and I transfer back and forth as I color so that I can keep that level of evenness going down the area. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's my wonderful bot is my moderator today. And he's just reminding everybody to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. He'll also remind you, if you want to support the channel, that we do have memberships available now. So you can definitely become a member of my coloring corner and support me that way. But just hitting that like supports me a lot. So I am grateful for all of you who have done so. Alright, so we're just going to put this light area right around the portal here. And we're going to do that part in there as a window. So I'm going to take my dark, which is the phlox color, and I'm just going to come down through here and make sure that that is showing, that it's sitting up higher. And then I'm going to take my medium color around the edges, and that lighter color for the top. And there we have it. Just going to blend it all together with that lighter color. Like that. Now with this being a purple area, I'm actually going to do this door orange, because orange and purple go well together. I'm going to take a little bit of that tomato red, tomato puree, and just do a little bit of a shadowy area there. There we go. Yes, I find it's easier. Oh, so you find it's easier to use the lightest first. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, like I said, I'm a little bit of an oddball. I have never ever said I know exactly what I'm doing. So, and there are sometimes like right now, like when I just did that door, I put down the lightest first and then added the red. The reason why I did that is because it's easier for red to blend into orange, where it's more difficult to blend orange into red. Don't use your hand, use your brush. Because otherwise you just get the mess that I just got. Now we're going to do the stairs. Okay, so if you're going too dark, okay, so for example, this one here, I used 3 different purples, a light, a medium, and a dark. Now, if you go from light to medium to dark, sometimes you can find that your dark ends up too dark. So what you can do is you can take your light and you can cover the entire thing with your lighter color and dull down that dark a little bit. So if you're finding that this one here is too dark after you've put it on going from light, medium to dark, you can dull this dark down with either this one or this one. And just blend it out a little bit. It helps get rid of the dark too much. Okay, so because I've done this one here in these greens, I'm actually going to do the staircase in those greens as well. Yellow to orange works that way as well. If you put yellow on top of orange, it just makes the orange look like it's got a little bit more yellow in it. So basically it's anything that is a combined color. For example, purple. Purple is a combination color of red and blue, as we all know. So if I put down the more dominant color for the purple and try to blend that purple into it, I may have difficulty. So if I'm trying to blend, because this is more of a red purple than a blue purple, if I'm trying to blend a pink into that, I'm going to have more difficulty if I put the pink down first and then, or down second, because it's just going to wash out my purple. So like this one here is very pinky purple. So when I put down this on top of this purple, if I put too much pressure on it, I'm going to wash that right out. Same with pink. If I put pink on top of it, it's going to wash out that purple. Purple will do the same thing as with the red. So if you put down the red second, you're going to see that red. Where if you put it down first, the red is going to be washed out by that purple. Same with the orange. If you put down orange on top of red, it's going to look like a darker orange, not just a red color. What are you finished? I missed it, Brandy. I missed something. Oh dear, I missed it. Absolutely, write everything in your little books. And so I'm going to take the bud green because that's the darkest, like the brightest, darkest green color. And I'm just going to go down the edges here. And I'm not going to follow the treads or anything like that because of the fact that it is a little bit harder to do so. I could definitely do that on a couple of these and just add them in for contrast. This area here is going to be shadowed by this part here. So that's where I'm going to put the deepest amount of that green in those areas that are going to be shadowed. And then I'm going to take the mistletoe and I'm just going to fill in the rest. With small areas, you don't need a 3-layer combination. You don't even need a 1 or 2. You can just do a lighter hand on it. Yes, the color wheel would help with that theory. Here, I'll show you. Switch you over to the main and grab my color wheel. So, with your color wheel, as you can see, you can get yellow. You add it to the red orange to get this. However, if you were to do it the other way around and add yellow to an orange, you're going to get a lighter orange. You're not going to get a highlight or a shadow of yellow. In order to get the shadow of yellow, you would have to add it to a yellow orange to get the shadow. So if you were to go from dark to light, that's what you're going to get. If you go from light to dark, you're going to have the light sit on top of the dark a little bit better. The color wheel helps out a lot with choosing your colors, which are complementary, which are split complementary, and it also tells you on a lot of them what each of the things means. You know, whether it's a tint, a tone, or a shade, that sort of thing. Nice. I hope she did well. She was really nervous. So yeah, the color wheel helps out quite a bit with those sorts of things of, you know, when you add a different color on this side, it tells you your values for your grays, and that sort of thing. I love my color wheels. So this is what we've gotten done so far, and let's move that in just a touch so you guys can see a little bit better the colors that we've chosen. So adding things like the purple, like the red, like the green, and green colors, and the orange just adds that dimension of a fairy tale fairy house. So that's why I want to do it as many different colors as possible so that we can give it that fairy tale look and not make it look just like somebody's living in a tree. Okay, so we're going to switch back over. I want to color this moth since I have all of the colors chosen for it. I picked them all out and everything, and I've got them all mixed in here now. But I know which ones they are because they're not sharpened yet. So I'm going to do it in the pink gray colors. Yes, absolutely, Dee Dee. It does help you create that harmony in your color selections. Oh, well, that's too bad. The great thing about YouTube, Julie, is you can, of course, watch over again. So have a wonderful day, and I hope that your student does well. I use mine all the time, especially when I get stuck on a color combination. So I'm just going to sharpen these up. I have a tendency to really prefer my pencils to be a very, very sharp point. Of course, that is not something that a lot of people enjoy. So if you don't like having your pencil at a sharp point, of course you can definitely sharpen them with the hand crank sharpener like I'm using. Just turn the dial down, like this one here has a little dial here. You can turn it all the way down and it will just sharpen it to a little flat nub. I like them to be really sharp. I like sharp points, cannot lie. I'm not going to sing it because that would be copyright. Oh, well, Joyce, I hope that everything works out. If you need to talk or anything like that, you have me on Facebook. Send me a message. We can sit and chat for a while if you need to. Hey there, closet. No problem at all, Joyce. That's what I'm here for. To help, have fun, and encourage, and show you all my little mistakes when I make them, because I do make them often. Okay, so what I've chosen here are all some really gray tones, more pinky gray and warm gray tones. Oh, cool. Yeah, that is the best part is when you have so much fun doing what you're doing. Yeah. Yvette, that makes it so much easier. So I'm going to start with Heather Rose, which is one of the darkest colors. And I'm going to go in to the darker areas. Now this is a rosy brown color. And I don't know if you've seen those pink moths, but that's what I'm kind of going for here, is that pink moth kind of look. So I'm just going around the edges here with this darker color. And I'm going to fill in the edge down here with it. And I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to come in and build that color up a little bit more. This one here is Withered Rose. And I'm going to fill in this part up here with withered rose. They are a very, very close color. However, this withered rose has a little bit more gray in it than the one before. So heather rose has a little less gray, withered rose has a little more gray. I just love the pinky colors in these moths. Exactly. There is no mistake. There is just happy little accidents. I love happy little accidents. I absolutely adore happy little trees too. Bubbling little brooks. So I'm just going to go through here and add this withered rose here. I just love the way these cover. You know, they just seem to cover so nicely. You don't get a lot of that colored pencil line. You know, when you color with a harder pencil, you end up with those little circle lines and stuff like that. I don't find that I have that with these pencils. Okay, so I'm going through and I'm adding that darker heather rose to the withered rose in the shadowy type of areas, so areas that they're going to stick out a little bit. I'm just going to add that here in this line as well. Same with this one here. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Just going to fill this in. I'm just going to come up here and put the shadow in for the second part of that wing. And then we're going to take our lightest, which is Adobe Rose. You got the odorless blenders to thin them out, beat them out. Got the Adobe Rose there, and then we're going to take Ginger Snap. And go back in with Heather Rose. Because I forgot to. Just put those areas there. And then we're going to take our Sphinx color, and this is a warm gray color. And we're just going to fill in the rest. just pulling those colors in. I think I want to put a bit of that withered rose in this area. Just going to fill that all in. Put a little bit of darkness in there just to blend in. Add that shadow of his head there. And we're going to go back in with the Sphinx. And I'm just going to blend that all together with it. And I'm blending that ring around the center spot there out a little bit and blending it into that gray. Eliminates that hard line. Same with this side. I forgot a color. Going through it, there is, because of the way that they have it set up on the color swatch, but just by looking at it, you could feel that you're missing some pinks. However, they have the pinks spread out through the purples, through the grays, through pretty much each area that is going to create a pink. So they've got a purple pink area, a red pink area, and a gray pink area. If they were to combine them all on one page, you would not feel that way. But because of the fact that they are spread all over, it does make you feel that you're missing some pinks because you look for the pinks next to the reds, and that's not where they all are. But yeah. Other than that, no, I don't feel like we're missing any colors. I'm pretty sure that they have it covered. Just going to make sure that I have all the areas. The great thing about colored pencil, and one of the things that I really enjoy about colored pencils, is the control. So I felt that this area here just didn't quite have enough of that shadow, of that deeper color. So I can go back and I can add more. Where with markers and water-based pens and water-based media, I haven't been able to have that kind of control yet. I know that you can. I definitely know you can. I personally don't have that kind of control yet. Oh, what did I miss? What's going on in Germany right now? I've had no internet for 2 days, so I have an internet television. I have to turn on the news, I guess. So I'm going in here with the ginger snap for the areas there. Oh, it must be flooding again. Oh dear. Well, be careful out there, Yvonne. Yeah, exactly. That's my problem too, is I have a lot of difficulty controlling water-based media. But I keep trying, and that's all that matters. As long as you keep trying and you just slowly build your ability with it, it makes it a lot easier. Oh, good. I'm glad that your family and you are safe. I hope that everybody else in the country can get safe and be safe. Yeah, that's another thing is smudging. I'm always smudging. I have that problem with markers. I have a tendency to smudge things that I don't want to be smudged. All right, so we're going to go in with this color here. Aw, that's gotta suck when that happens. I know it bugs me when it happens. Okay, Joyce, you take care, hun, and if you need to talk or work things out, you can definitely send me a message on Facebook. Okay, so just got his little bits up there done. Hi, Valerie. You lurk away, my dear. I lurk in a lot of places when I'm, because 9 times out of 10 I'm doing more than one thing at a time. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of the withered rose here to his little body where the shadows would be. And then we're going to take the adobe rose and we're just going to fill that in a little bit. And we're going to take the adobe rose and fill in his head here as well. And for his underbody area, I'm actually going to take a little bit of beet red, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of it. I think it just needs a little bit more of that red tone. In a few places here. So I'm just taking a little bit of beet red and just adding it. And then I'll blend it all together with the lighter tones. And then we're going to take our black. And not like we're missing any blacks. We got lots of those. But I think we're just going to take Jet Set here, which is one of the darker gray black colors. As long as I don't drop it on the floor and break it. And we're going to do his eyes. Hi, Tammy. Lurking and working. Yep, absolutely. That is always fun. Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible. Sorry to hear that, Yvette. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to fill in his eyes. Like I said, this is a really dark gray black color. It's not black black. It's jet black, which has got a bit of a gray tone, undertone to it. So it gives you that ability to make the lower area a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to take the white, which is in this one. I know which white, right? But I'm going to take this white, not tofu, but brilliant white. And I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom of his eye. I will definitely do that, Brandy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the white here in the bottom of his eye. And then we have our light pinky colored moth. This is yes, there is a flip through of this book, Yvette. It is actually a artist here in Salem, Oregon. I'll switch over to the main so you can see it. And on my flip through, there is some information in the About section on how you can order this book. Let's see if I can find it here for you. New window. Okay. So it should be in the playlist bonuses. If I can't find it for you, but it was done just before I did the treasure hunt. So it's right there. Found it, found it. So there is the flip through. Exactly, exactly. I want I want it to be a nice pinky gray, not a brown gray, not a gray gray, but a pinky gray. And that's exactly what I got here. I got a pinky gray. And that's what I really enjoy about it. I want a pinky brown, not a dark brown, not a light brown. I want a pinky brown. And that is the great thing about these pencils is you can say, okay, I want to do this like a pink moth. I don't want to do this um, as a moth, a gray moth with pink added. I want to do this as a gray pink moth. The Marco 120, the same as this? No, not at all. I have the Marco 120s as well. They're not the same pencil. Nice, Brandy. The Marco Renoir, I think it's the Renoir, the 120 set, the Renoir, are a lot softer than these are. They squish. They squish really good. So, I think I know it's a little bit earlier than I go. So, does anybody have any questions or anything that you want me to look at further with the Brutfuners, with the coloring book, anything like that? Okay, so you have the tributes. I don't have those. I have the 120 Renoir. I thought the tributes only came in an 80 set. And the tributes, is, from what I understand, are pretty much the same as the Renoir, aren't they? I don't know. I don't have them, so I can't compare them. But I have thought about getting them. Of course I have. I just can't see spending that kind of money on a set that I may already own. Yes, Brandy, this set is one of the first sets other than the squares that actually have color names. They always have color numbers, but this is one of the first sets of the Brutfuners that I've owned that actually has the color names. I know that they have a colored barrel 180 out there that I just found out about a couple of months ago that I have on my wish list that have the color name on them. And I will be buying those to see if they match the color names that are on this 520 set or if they match the colors of the 520 set. Yes. And one of these days I will get the well, Tammy, no, I don't know. Tammy was going to get the watercolors, but because she thought she had bought them accidentally, but she bought the rounds. One day I will get the watercolor Brutfuners just so that I can try them out and test them, and so they're not pigmented at all. So, Brandy, do they say Guanghai on them, or do they say Brutfuner? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I've heard that they are terrible, so. Oh, well, thank you so much for watching, Dee Dee, and thank you so much for staying here and chatting and hanging out. I do enjoy it. Okay, so they do say Brutfuner. Yeah. From what I've heard, the Brutfuner watercolors are not that great. But like I said, I don't have them, so I can't say yay, nay, or don't bother. But if Tammy says that they're no good, then I follow Tammy. I do watch. Yes, exactly. It's no by July. Okay. Well, thank you so much for hanging out, Brandy, and I'm glad you enjoy it. Like I said, for anybody that would like to purchase this book, um, the link that I linked there is for the flip through. Here, I'll pin it so that everybody can see it. That's for the flip through. And in the about section of that flip through is an email address and some information. And make sure that you email and let them know that you would like to purchase the book if you would like to purchase the book, and they will tell you how to do that and everything like that. Unfortunately, it is only available in one store in Oregon. So, um, yeah, if nobody else has any other questions, thank you all very much for hanging out. Yes, Tammy does make art from $1 pencils, and it's gorgeous. It's just insane. I I tried. I tried to say, maybe, I got a set of Prismacolors for free, and she said no, I couldn't use those. Well, Yvette, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm glad that you enjoy the channel. Of course, all of you are fantastic. Thank you all so much for hanging out and chatting with me, and I hope that I can continue to be enjoyable for y'all. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day, a wonderful weekend, and always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, bye bye for now. Don't tell your hubby. All right, guys. Bye bye for now.